So it looks like the Federal Reserve just injected a bunch of money into Bitcoin. And are they getting ready to do that into their stock market too? I would imagine so. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. This is Crypto Takeover coming back with another video again for y'all this evening. And I wanted to take a look at the charts again. It looked like quantitative easing has been implemented into the markets, which will allow the Feds to print unlimited amount of money and also buy back a few different stocks and somewhat of some other things too. So we're going to take a look at the charts, see what the charts are telling us based on that information. If that sounds interesting to y'all, please stick around, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that I make. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to take a look at our 15-minute time frame here. I was getting a drink there. Woke up this morning and saw a really substantial pump to the upside here. So if y'all played off of that long, that's freaking awesome. I think we actually kind of got stopped out here, so no worries. We'll get it back next time. I'm not really too concerned about it, to be honest. So, but we're going to come back stronger next time for sure. And so as you can see here on our 15-minute time frame, we have a sell signal that just signaled not too long ago after this big pump to the upside. So what I was thinking was that we were probably just going to hold around this 6,380 level, since that was one of our fib levels as well. We did kind of pierce through that above. So now we're just looking to retest this VWAP possibly at about 6K. And if we retest the VWAP at about 6K, you can see that a lot of our EMAs are very similar to right around that area of 6K. Maybe we'll get a bounce from there to the top side. Money flow looks like it is wanting to move into the green right now too as well. So as you can see, this would have been a nice play here off of this green money flow. What I've been noticing is that our 15-minute time frame is a good indicator for like longing and shorting off of the money flow too as well. So definitely some indications there that could possibly help out with future trades as we look into even going back just a tad bit more. So, you know, as soon as this money flow starts to move, then we start to see entry points taking place for us based on that VWAP, as well as looking at Cypher B, we can also see that, you know, as it moves down, that would give us a nice little long entry there too as well. Just to say, oh, okay, we're headed back to the top side. So we'll keep an eye on this, and this might be a nice little scalping method that you know, you could implement as well in your trading too. So feel free. But then also let's go into our 30-minute time frame. We can see that we haven't really moved into that green money flow just yet on our 30-minute time frame, but we are getting a nice little pump here still to the top side. So we'll see if it's sustainable or not. I feel like a lot of our higher time frames were still giving us some bearish money flow, red money flow, bearish signals as well. So we made a nice little profit back over here. I think we had an entry point at about the 6,200 level. We ended up taking profit down here at this dump, right at about, I think I took profit at about 5,800, and so my team did pretty well on that one. I did want to go back to our 15-minute time frame just to see where that dump occurred at. So we had this 64 and then 62 and then that's when our money flow turned red all the way down here. So pretty cool. So let's go into our 45-minute here. Takes a look-see and see what's happening here on our 45-minute. On our 45-minute, we can see that EMAs are just getting squished right now because of this recent pump to the upside. Money flow is starting to move into that greenish area. I do want to kind of just wait it out right now. I feel that we could end up getting a little bit more movement to the upside, and just want to play it safe as of right now based on our 15-minute, 45-minute. Kind of that money flow is kind of moving to the top side as well. No sign of topping out just yet on our 45-minute. That could change though. And then as we move into our 1 hour as well, you can see that our we do have a signal of a reversal and also another green dot too as well on cipher A. Our blue triangle is an indication of a reversal pattern, maybe a move up to the top side as well. You can see last time we have these reversal patterns, they can kind of signal that we could be making a move to the upside too as well. So, might be considering a long position, but I do kind of just want to wait this out to see whether or not this was a substantial pump to indicate that we could be moving further to the upside. As we move into our 2 hour money flow was still in the green, so obviously it was not uncalled for that this pump happened, but we make sure to do our proper risk management, make sure to have our stop losses in place. And I was sitting in profit. We were actually sitting in, I think, maybe about 20% profit by last night. My mistake on not going to move that profit or move my stop loss into profit. So lesson learned on that. Went to sleep without moving my stop loss in profit, and woke up this morning and got pretty much stopped out. It's okay though. So I'll just have to remember before I go to sleep, if I'm in profit, just make sure to set my stop loss in profit for sure, just to be safe. You never know. Because I think we were all the way down at, where were we at? Last night we were probably at about that 5,800 area. Yeah, and I had my entry, I think my entry was about 5,100 or 6,100, somewhere around there. So definitely would have had put my stop loss in at about 6K break even, or maybe like 5,900, just so that way I could have made sure it was ended up in profit. But hindsight is 2020. We just have to make sure that we remember to do things next time properly, right? So money flow is still in the green here on our 2 hour. We can see that we're getting ready to retest our 200 EMA. It looks like we did retest it. So whether or not we have enough volume to get through this 200 EMA, we can start to see our bullish crosses with our 50 crossing above our 21 as well, and our 100 that is also our 21's crossing above our 100 and our 50 right now. So we did get a little bit of a death cross here before, but it didn't really play out too well. We had a nice substantial little pump back to the upside here, indicating that we're probably going to end up getting a squeeze between maybe our 100 and our 200 EMA here. So I would expect that this trading range be significant to indicate whether or not we're going to have another shot to the upside or downside. And so as we start to get these squeezes on our EMAs, this is what I'll be looking out for, is the squeezes on our EMAs, where the money flow is headed to, where cipher B is telling us that it's topping out at or bottoming out at. So I'll keep an eye on that as well. Let's take a look at our 4 hour. Yeah, we'll jump into our 4 hour real quick. So if y'all are brand new to this channel, I have a newsletter that y'all can sign up for, just to keep in touch with me if I decide to change platforms or if something happens to the channel. It'll be an easy way for y'all to keep in touch with me on what's going on. Also, I do giveaways every once in a while with the newsletter, so make sure that you're signed up, and that will be a way for you to qualify for the giveaways that I decide to do. So the channel is growing. Thanks for all the support and love, and everyone sharing the videos. Really appreciate it. And then also, I do have private videos that I send out in my newsletter as well, and y'all can check that out. So feel free to get signed up for that. I'll probably be sending out my next newsletter probably by the end of this week. So make sure that you're signed up so you can get that newsletter. And then also, I have the Patreon page that y'all can sign up for. There's only, I think, maybe 3 spots left on the current tier. So 3 spots remaining on the VIP Signals group right now. Feel free to get signed up for it. I do want to cap this group off at a certain point. I just don't want it to get overcrowded. I don't want there to be a bunch of noise. I want to make sure that we can all support each other and that there's not a bunch of confusion on different things either. So it's starting to get to the point where there's just a lot of people in the group and it's a lot to keep up with. But at the same time, I just want it to be a solid group to make sure that we can all be there as a team and support each other for the most part. If anyone has any questions or anything like that, they can get answered right away. So feel free to sign up for the VIP Signals group, which is on the Patreon page, a second link in the description box. You will also get access to my Patreon posts about different scalping methods that I use, and then also how to set up different indicators that I have, such as my Whales Buy Sell signal, which is a custom indicator, and then also the Aldo EMAs, which is also a custom indicator. And I tell y'all how to get that all set up inside the Patreon posts. So feel free to join us in there. There's only 3 spots left as of right now. I may change that. And once these 3 spots fill, the prices will probably go up. So if you want to be one of those 3 people to get in at that price, feel free to sign up right now before the prices go up at the end of the month probably. So with that being said, let's take a look at our 4-hour. 4-hour money flow is kind of still moving into that green. A lot of sideways action here though, for the most part. Let's go back to our 2-hour, just see what was happening here. So 2-hour, we still had our money flow that was in the green. 1 hour, yeah, because our 45-minute was still, our 15-minute definitely was moving into that green money flow. That's where we got that pump from. And then our 2-hour here, we can still just see that we're still in the green money flow. And then 4-hour, also kind of moving into that greenish money flow. We did have a nice little green dot down here, but I feel like a lot of this sideways action here is just going to be more sideways action, to say the least. And then we'll see what exactly wants to happen, if we want to continue into the green money flow, or if we want to turn back into our red money flow as well. So we are currently trying to move up above our 21 and our 13 EMA, and it looks like we are moving above the 50. So I would expect either we come back down and retrace a little bit, or we get a nice little consolidation in between our 50 and our 100 EMA here. And that's really what I want to keep an eye on, is maybe some squeezes between our EMAs. Looking at our 1 hour and also our 2 hour here, I would like to see this squeeze happen with our trading range at about 6,500 and 6K. So maybe some trading ranges in between there, and decide whether or not, where this market wants to move to. Taking a look at our 6 hour. Money flow still heavily into the red. We do have a green dot here, indicating that we are seeing a little bit of reversal, right? Pretty substantial wick on some of these higher time frames. And as this quantitative easing plays out, what I think it mostly means is that it's a last chance for big money to get out of the stock market, to get out of all their holdings, because we are in a we are in a crisis right now, to say the least, around the whole world. And I do want to take a look at the charts really quick here on the total confirmed cases for the coronavirus. But I've been keeping an eye on this, and the U.S. has now surpassed Spain in confirmed cases. So honestly, I feel like the U.S. could, start to move its way into second place. But Italy hasn't slowed down at all yet either, having the most casualties with this virus that is breaking out. This number here, I mean, we were at 3K over the weekend, and we jumped up to 50. We jumped up 50,000 within a couple of days. So it's not slowing down. It's not going away anytime soon. It's just something that we're gonna have to live with for right now, and just make sure that we're doing the best to our ability to stay healthy, right? But that's also affecting the markets, and I feel that the quantitative easing was a play to get your money, your last little bit of money out of the market, right, without having a detrimental loss to take place. So I would say that quantitative easing could probably play out till the rest of maybe Wednesday or so, and then we'll start to see what decision these markets want to make, until then. So we have our 8 hour here. 8 hour is still in the red money flow as well, and then we could possibly be getting a green dot here, maybe giving us a little bit of a trigger wave to send us a little bit lower because of our money flow that's kind of holding us down a tad bit as well. Let's go back to I did want to see what our EMAs were telling us, what their story here is. Currently finding rejection on that 50 EMA. Wanted to move above that 21 EMA, but kind of moved below it. So now we're just probably going to fight between this 50 EMA and our 21 EMA and maybe get a little bit of a squeeze there. Also here, kind of wanted to pump back up above that 21 EMA, waiting for this 50 EMA to probably squeeze us back down just a tad bit more. So definitely, probably the trading range right now is probably between 6,500 and 6K. I could definitely see that trading range probably playing out for the time being. We did have a flash buy signal on our 12 hour, but it looks like it disappeared. So until that confirms, I was kind of like a little bit bullish, but then at the same time, it didn't quite confirm just yet. So honestly, I feel like this could just be kind of like a scam wick pump to the upside before we see some more downside potential. So that's our 12 hour. We do have a green dot, so we just need to be aware of that. It could end up turning red within the night, before this isn't confirmed. This is just flashing for us right now, that green dot. So, this could end up being just somewhat of a shooting star candle too, depending on where we close at. Let's go into our 21 hour. And then, I did want to look at the EMAs here, see what kind of story they're telling us. Yeah. Not quite trending above that 21 EMA just yet, but trying to. We have a Darth Maul wick here on our 21 hour. Still have our sell signals that have signaled. More big wicks happening, big Darth Maul wicks happening here. Money flow still not really into the red just yet. It looks like it wants to turn green again. So we'll have to just kind of play by ear and see what's going to happen here on our daily, and just kind of go with the flow on that. We do have our buy signal that's still there. Same with our 2-day. I think we had our 2-day buy signal a while back. Money flow still kind of in the red right now, but it does look like it wants to start to move back up into that greenish territory as well. So wouldn't be overall too bearish here now, just because we had this nice little pump to the upside. But I still feel that once some of our lower time frames line up with like our 1 hour, all the way from probably like our 15 minute to maybe like our 1 hour, if they start to turn red again into that reddish money flow, or back up into our, I think it's like, yeah, all the way up into our 2 hour to 4 hour. Once those start to turn reddish again, then I may be considering a position. But I really want to see what we get with our squeezes here. Probably our 2 hour squeeze. And I would say definitely our 2 hour squeeze with our 200 EMA, and squeezing with our 50 or 100. So our 200 and our 100, getting a squeeze there to see where price pump might, or the price action might end up taking place as well. And then we can go into our 3-day here. 3-day money flow still in the red, but getting somewhat of a green dot here. Not a big green dot, it looks like, but maybe just a small green dot, possibly to have some consolidation for the most part for right now. We do have a buy signal on our 3-day. So fairly bullish, that's why it's just a tight trading range right now. To be honest, it's a really tight trading range. I don't want to jump into anything too soon right now, being that we just got stopped out too as well. I just want to kind of let things cool off, let things take it easy for right now. And then looking at our 5-day, we still have our crosses that could happen. And so I'm looking at this right now, and if this cross happens between our 21 and our 100, I feel like we already kind of got the dump that we were looking for. So we could see, one last pump to the upside. I think last time we had I think it was on our daily or a weekly or something. It was our 21 crossing above our 50. And when our 21 crossed above our 50, everyone was like, we're going to the moon, or something like that. And price dumped back the opposite direction. And then it started to move back up. So what I think is that if we get this 21 and our 100 EMA to cross, have a little bit of a death cross, I feel like we could almost pump all the way back up to that 100 EMA at about 7,700 before we continue back lower. So I would keep an eye on that, just because we've already had a super big sell-off too. And our hash ribbons are also in capitulation right now as well. I don't feel like we're out of the woods just yet, but at the same time, we need to be ready for a pump back up into that 7K area. And if that happens, then we'll take it back to the downside. But we'll have to just keep an eye on the market to see what happens. I would feel more comfortable probably just waiting for the pump to 7K. And then maybe by the time we see this death cross actually take place, which will probably happen maybe by the end of March, possibly. If we don't have the pump up to 7K, then maybe feel more comfortable taking that short position right then and there after this cross happens, possibly. So y'all, I do have the Discord group that is free to join. Y'all are welcome to just join me in there and hang out. We have some good discussion, some talks in there as well. But also you can join us. It's free to join. And then the Telegram group is also free to join too. I'll do news updates and stuff in there, what I'm getting from other sources as well. So join us in the Telegram page to stay alert on what is happening in the markets. And then also I use the TradingView Pro, or I used to use the Pro Plus plan. Now I use the Premium plan, which allows me to have a few more functions on TradingView as well. I've actually been considering incorporating it with 3 commas. So plan to kind of implement some strategies that I use with 3 commas as well and see how they're doing. But so far, I think with my 3 commas account, I've come out positive on the last 2 bot trades that I've had in there, so that's pretty cool too. But yeah, feel free to upgrade your plan if you want to. The Pro Plus plan is what I was using. It's great for Market Cipher. You can still have up to 5 indicators on the screen. So Market Cipher package includes 3 indicators, and then you can have 2 more on top of that with the Pro Plus plan. So it's a great indication to have the whales buy sell signal and also the Aldo EMAs. If your strategy is to just buy and hodl, go for it. I'm not against it. I honestly have a DCAing stash that I just DCA in every single week. Coinbase makes that pretty easy, and that's probably what I recommend. But I just as soon as I get the DCAing taking place and it deposits to Coinbase, then I just withdraw it from there onto the Ledger. So I think right now Ledger is giving away a free Ledger Nano S whenever you buy a Ledger Nano X. So use the link in the description box below to help support the channel. And then also we use Bybit on my channel and my premium trading group as well. We use pretty much Bybit on there. It's just a simple platform to it's a platform that it's just pretty simple to navigate for the most part. So that's why I enjoy using it. But I would recommend, if you've never used it before, please get signed up for the testnet. So link in the description box. Then you want to ask chat support down here how to access the testnet. They'll step you through it. It's like a 2-step process. And you want to make sure that you can just learn how to trade fake BTC first. Make sure that your algorithm that you're using is profitable. Even if you're in my trading group, you can use the testnet first just to be safe, and then once you learn what the market orders mean, what limit orders mean, how to ladder orders, then you might feel a little bit more comfortable actually depositing your real BTC onto the exchange, and you can do it that way. So yeah, feel free to use the link in the description box below to get signed up for that. Also, Prime XBT allows USA citizens to leverage trade. So if you do want to leverage trade and you are a USA citizen, you can trade the S&P 500, gold and silver, a bunch of different fiat currencies as well too, all using Bitcoin. So check it out, it's pretty cool. And then also, I use the Brave browser to browse the web. I get paid out in BAT token every single month by clicking on ads that pop up in my bottom right-hand corner. So the Brave browser is just a super lightweight browser. It's made by the same people that made Mozilla Firefox. It's definitely the browser of the future. So go ahead and get used to it. You can still add all the same Google Chrome extensions on there. So I have, Grammarly, I have MetaMask and all that on there too as well. So yeah, check out the Brave browser. Let's go back into our 5-day chart real quick just to see what we can determine here. So we are starting to get that red money flow forming down for us as well. We just need to keep a keen eye on what's happening here in the market. So we are definitely in a tight trading range right now. Maybe expecting a move to the upside, but I would say maybe a 7K pump back to 7K, but that would be a good entry point for us possibly to take that short position as well. So we'll have to just keep an eye on it and see, maybe considering laddering some orders back up to 7K and then just hopping on down the train from there. Just this 5-day chart just looks extra bearish right now for some reason. So but yeah, the daily also kind of maybe giving us a peek into that green money flow before we continue back to the downside. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that to possibly move up just a little bit more. Maybe not much. There's a lot of doji action going on here too, indicating that, hey, we might be at another point of turnaround to go further down. Let's go into our 6-day. Then our 6-day here, getting some nice little squeezes here as well on the EMAs, but also still most of it is headed to a downwards trajectory. If we start to see these death cross happen, then that'll be another indication that we could have definitely some more downwards action for sure. Then going into our weekly time frame, let's check it out. Still have our sell signals. So I think we had our buy signal all the way up until our 3-day. Let's take a look at our 4-day. I'm just curious to see 4-day buy signal as well. So, I would definitely feel like a pump back up to 7K is plausible, but our trend is still down. So I hate trading against the trend when I don't feel like it's a strong bottoming pattern just yet. We had a nice bottoming pattern here, but I still feel like this is not a bottom pattern for us just yet. So I know a lot of people have been asking me if I see a bottom pattern happening or if I feel bullish at all. I feel like enough to maybe retest the 7K area into maybe mid 7K area. And that is probably the most bullishness that I have. But it's yet to be determined. Let's go into our 2-week. Still have our blood diamonds here that are playing out. And so, I really wouldn't want to consider a long. I would just find a better opportunity for a short position. And so maybe on our next scam wake up to the top, maybe then consider a position. So I think the quantitative easing aspect of this will probably induce more volatility into this market as of right now. And I think that it's going to probably pump up the market maybe a little bit more too, to where if that happens, then we'll just have more reason to probably take this further down to the downside. And it'll probably give us maybe somewhat of a better entry as well. And then let's go into our 21-day. 21-day blood diamond, still there, looking at us dead in the eye, saying, hey, what's up, BTC? Thought you were going to be okay, huh? But Corona. but this virus. So, Then we go back into our monthly time frame. We can see that our 200 EMA is still there, just now bottoming out for us. That 2700 staring at us, saying, "Hey, I see you. I see you. You're there. You're there at that 2700." But who knows if we could get in there? If you want to go ahead and like maybe put in some orders down there, then go for it. It's a possibility. Pretty much anything's possible in this market, so just be prepared for whatever. And that's why I also like DCA into everything. I tell all my Patreon members, I'm like, hey, I give y'all my 2 favorite altcoins. I want y'all to at least be DCAing into those every single week. You know, it's just another hedge against our trading too as well. So, but and especially a hedge against BTC, I think, because to a certain extent, I think that BTC is compromised to a certain extent for sure. But that's why I give you my 2 favorite altcoins, and why I think one of them could end up passing the market cap value of Bitcoin in the future because of the compromisation of the BTC market. And then let's go into our 3-month time frame. Sure, why not? Red dot here, you know. So fun stuff. All right, everyone. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I hope this was a good enough video for y'all. Not too confusing, but also, you know, very informative to just be at the ready. 4-hour kind of moving into that greenish money flow as of right now. Give us a little bit nice of a pump there to the top side as we start to move into this green money flow on our 4-hour. 2 hours still nicely into the green money flow here, indicating that we could probably be trading sideways just for a tad bit longer, maybe getting a nice little squeeze here. So I'll definitely keep an eye on that. But thanks for joining me again today, y'all. CTO signing out. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way y'all can be updated every single video that I make. There's only 3 spots left in the VIP group, so feel free to join. See ya on the next one.